Good afternoon, everybody. Can you all see me? All right, okay. I'm a short guy. Well, first of all, my personal thanks to the Manaros family and to the Aki Foundation for inviting me to this ceremony. I have the distinct honor of introducing an extraordinary man I consider a hero, a World War II veteran who endured over 75 years of adversity in his quest to be recognized for his wartime service. And before I call upon him to address this assembly, I want to very briefly describe his character and his lifelong experience. Then he can come up to the podium and he can tell the rest of the story. Then Lieutenant Celestino Almeda, his picture is right in front of you, served in the United States Army Forces in the Far East under the command of General Douglas MacArthur in July 1941. There were over 260,000 Filipinos and Americans who served under that command. President Franklin Roosevelt issued a military order to General MacArthur to mobilize all organized military forces in the Philippines to defend the United States against the Japanese imperial forces postured to attack the Philippines. And some of you know the Philippines was then a colony and a possession of the United States. Lieutenant Almeda was one of thousands of Filipinos and Americans who fought fiercely and bravely under the American flag that gained victory against the Japanese imperial forces in September of 1945. Following the war in February 1946, the 79th Congress passed the Rescission Act that still is active today that revoked the veterans' benefits for thousands of Filipino soldiers and also rescinded their U.S. nationality that was granted to them by the Nationality Act of 1940. For almost 5 years in combat, the Filipino soldiers, as Americans, were discounted for their wartime service. It's just as if they did not exist. He was one of several living World War II veterans who met with Congress, members of Congress, and leaders in the United States Army and Department of Veterans Affairs for almost 3 decades following that war. He and his group lobbied and petitioned the leaders of our government for their rightful benefits and be recognized for their wartime service. He and his fellow soldiers promised never to quit and never to leave a fallen comrade behind, and they vowed to accomplish their mission, much like what they did in the war. Lieutenant Almeda was relentless in his mission. I personally watched him testify before congressional hearings several times. I was there when he presented his case to senior leaders in the Army and senior executives at Veterans Affairs. I was at a public event where then the Secretary of Veterans Affairs dismissed his plea in public when he personally requested the Secretary to review his wartime record. But Lieutenant Almeda was not deterred by years of countless denials and dismissals from government leaders, all because he and his brothers in arms had the right to protest against the injustice they suffered after the war. They were warriors through and through, and they all know how to fight. Finally, on October 24th, 2017, last year, on his 100th birthday, Lieutenant Almeda won his war. The Army and Veterans Affairs approved his case and paid him $15,000, a one-time lump sum payment for his wartime service 75 years ago to his country. A nominal fee granted for all those years while living a lifetime of adversity. Then on October 25th, 2017, the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, awarded the Filipino and American veterans of World War II the Congressional Gold Medal, the highest award Congress can bestow to an individual or group for their wartime service, outstanding achievement to American history and culture. Mr. Almeda was presented the Congressional Gold Medal on behalf of Filipino and American soldiers who fought to defend the United States, yet suffered the interminable cost of their fight to regain their honor and dignity. More importantly, he and his band of brothers are now legally recognized as veterans of World War II and also proud members of the greatest generation. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome for Lieutenant Celestino Almeda. Here's another award for you, Mr. Almeda.
Look this way. Look over here. Over here.
Wow.
Ambassador of Greece to the United States of America. Sorry, he's not here. Mr. Andy Manatos, Executive Director of the Washington Oxide Foundation. Distinguished guests, ladies, gentlemen, and hop in between. Good afternoon. I hope Major General Antonio Taluba did not overdo by putting me in the auction block with a higher price than what I am worth. Thank you, presidential aspirant and former Senator Bob Dole, for nominating me for this accolade, which I humbly accept, not only for myself, but for countless comrades in arms long departed, and a few hundred still living. We all did in our small way and bet our life to uphold the principles of democracy that we all love. A democracy that is being challenged by fascism worldwide. Please correct me if I am wrong in my assumption. Again, thank you, Washington Day Oxy Day Foundation, for this honor. You made me feel great in heart and mind. Good afternoon again. May God bless you all, and God bless America.